What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another DIY video. We are installing some parts on the G80 M3, and as you guys can see, I've already started without you guys. So the whole front end is off, bumper's over there. We're going to be adding some carbon in today's video. Today's video is sponsored actually by Keys Motorsports, so huge shout out to Brian and the team over at Keys Motorsports. They've been a huge supporter on my channel over the last several years, and I highly recommend them if you're looking to buy some parts for your BMW, whether that's carbon fiber parts, interior parts, front lips, diffusers, exhaust tunes. They have pretty much everything that you need in order to modify your BMW, so definitely check out keysmotorsports.com. So we are actually going to be changing the whole front end on this car today. We've got some CSL style grills. I'm going to show you guys how to install that, but as you guys can see, I started without you, and the bumper is already off the car. If you need an instructional video on how to remove the bumper, check the video description below here, because I've got a whole DIY on how to do that, and I kind of show you step by step on how to remove the bumper. So check out that video, but this video is going to be more so taking apart the internals basically of the bumper, because we do have to take some plastics off in order to get to the kidney grills and swap the new ones on. So let's get to it. As you guys know, this front end is extremely controversial, and I have actually grown to really like the front end of this thing, and I think it looks a lot better in person than it does in pictures. And what's really interesting here is the front grills were actually PPF'd. Every single slat, my detailer PPF'd, everything's ceramic coated, and we're actually going to be pulling this off because I've got some CSL carbon fiber grills that are going to be replacing these gloss black ones, which I've come to like over the last several months, but I think this is going to be a game changer. These CSL grills are beautiful, and the carbon weave is phenomenal, and it's completely dry carbon, really high quality stuff from Keys Motorsports. So let's show you what we got. Okay, let's show you guys what we got here. I've already kind of unboxed this ahead of time. It's amazing how big these things are. I mean, look how huge this is. Compared to all previous generations, like, this is just insanely large. And as you guys can see, this version here, CSL style grill, very aggressive, and it's all one giant piece. All real carbon, as you guys can see back here. Beautiful. The weave is fantastic. And yeah, what's also really cool is Keys Motorsports has their own little badging here up on this one. So we're basically replacing this, getting rid of the M3 badge, and yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna look fantastic. Alright, so you guys can tell the quality on this thing is phenomenal. Again, completely dry carbon, not the cheaper wet carbon stuff. And as you guys can see here, it's already got, the spaces for parking distance control sensors, which we have, and then the front camera right there as well. And so you can see just how aggressive this style is. There are several different styles out now, but this is by far one of the most aggressive ones in my opinion, and one of the better looking ones. Now that I've shown you guys the awesome goods from Keys Motorsports, what we're gonna do is actually flip this bumper around and flip it down on its face and put it on my really ugly rug here, because you do want to protect the paint. Obviously, I do have paint protective film, and ceramic coating on this thing, and just want to maintain it all. So if you've got a bumper stand, that would really come in handy as well. If not, use what you got. Grandma's old rug. And so this is how it's going to start. So we're going to go ahead and remove some of these things. You'll see that there's wires all the way across. This is all for your parking distance control sensors, as well as your front bumper camera right here. All right, so like I said, what we're gonna do first is kind of remove some of these wires. So I'm gonna take my little trim tool here and pull up this center piece. Just kind of gotta free this one. Let's see here. Just like that. And then there are 3 little prongs here around the camera. So you kind of gotta open up all 3 at the same time. Be very careful. Might help if you've got a trim tool here to help you. Maybe get yourself a couple trim tools actually. I'm gonna try to prop this open a little bit. Try not to break the plastics. There we go. Just like so. Kind of move that out of the way temporarily. Next up, I recommend taking some painter's tape and kind of covering your lens, because we don't want to scratch this up if we can help it. So, which looks like there might already be some scratches. But just to prevent it from happening even worse, I'm gonna cover that. Now what we're gonna do is actually move to these parking distance control sensors. So right here, you'll see that there's a little tab on each side. You kind of gotta separate them a little bit and pull up on it. There we go. So those pop right out. Put that over here. There's one on this side and one on this side. There we go. Okay, move this one to the side. Now we're gonna work on 1, 2, 3, 4 of these clips that are clipped literally into the kidney grill. These are kind of annoying. They're like claws. They're little claws. Gotta play up on them a little bit. There we go. So now this is loose enough that we can get the kidneys out and finagle around those. So next thing we want to do, we can start over here on one of these sides. All of these kidneys, or these kidney grills, are all held in by all of these clips. So you'll see that there are a bunch of them that go around the entire perimeter, and all of them are color painted, color matched to your car. And so what we're gonna do is take my little trim tool here and kind of wedge it in between that part and the kidney grill. So here's what I'm talking about right here. We'll start here in this corner. We're basically gonna take my little trim tool here, prop it in between, just like that, and pull up on the kidney grill, just to get it started a little bit. And you can kind of go around. Some of these are a little easier than others. There we go. You can hear them popping a little bit. There we go. So you just kind of want to start here in one corner and then work your way around. Start with here. Kind of see what I'm doing here. That might happen too a little bit. So you get a couple of them up. Just gotta be patient a little bit. Try not to break anything.
There we go. Slowly but surely getting it. There we go. Okay. I think we've got it all pretty much up here. So now we can finagle this out of here. It's a bit of a pain. And then obviously if we pull these up a little bit, that'll free up a little bit more room too. There we go. Stock grills out. And here's a comparison of the stock kidneys versus the Keys Motorsports CSL style grills. So now what we're gonna do is pop the new grills in. I will say these are significantly lighter than the stock grills. I mean, I can hold this easily with one hand, whereas the stock ones are actually surprisingly heavy for what it is. So we're gonna go ahead and finagle this back in here carefully. Make sure your PVC is up. You get the general area here. So it's just a matter of pushing this back on into place. It already does have all the little areas to go in. So just push down. You want to make sure that all of these are clicking back into place. You can physically see them. Right. Once you have your grills all into place, everything's clipped back in, all the tabs are in, you can go ahead and reinstall your camera. So go ahead and take your tape off. And then go ahead and plug this back in. I'm actually going to carefully put it through here. Until it clips in. I'm going to put my piece of tape on the front, just to protect the lens. There we go, so it snaps in. This piece can go back on there. These can go, and the PDC can go back in here as well. Those are going to clip in, one on each side, just like that. This back in here. Now these cannot be attached here. So what I'm going to do is basically attach it here on the wire just to hold it to itself. And then you can let these dangle pretty much and go ahead and reinstall. And a moment of truth, go ahead and flip this bumper up so you can see what this is going to look like now. Go ahead and flip this around for you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huh. This looks absolutely incredible. I think this really transforms the front end. I'm actually really glad that I went with carbon on these. They do, you know, other companies do make gloss black versions of this, and
I love carbon. I don't typically do carbon fiber kidney grills on all my other BMWs. I've never done carbon before, but I think with the G80, this is the way to go. Carbon looks phenomenal on this car, and I think this looks so much more aggressive, so much cooler looking, and it's not even back on the car yet. But that's pretty much the install for the kidney grills. I'm actually gonna be doing another install, which is gonna be a second video after this one, because it only makes sense when you have the whole bumper off like this to do a modification like this. You might as well do some other carbon while you're at it. So we're actually going to be installing carbon fiber grills here, air ducts, one here and one here, to get rid of these ugly honeycomb grills, which I don't know why BMW even put those on there. They sell, you know, in performance carbon ones, and they look fantastic. And I actually have a set that we're going to be installing from Northwest Carbon House. So stay tuned for that video coming soon. But otherwise, install is pretty straightforward for the kidney grills. It is obviously a little bit time consuming because you do have to remove the bumper, as opposed to, you know, previous kidney grills on BMWs in general, M cars, even regular 3 Series, even, you know, you don't have to take the whole bumper off, but for something like this, you absolutely have to. So that's the only kind of annoying part about this kind of install, is it's, you know, takes you twice as long, but the outcome is phenomenal. And again, huge thanks to Brian and the team over at Keys Motorsports for supplying me with this. This car is actually going to BMW Invasion soon, and it's going to be in the Keys Motorsports booth. So definitely go check out the car if you're going to be down there. Say what's up to me, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned. Again, air ducts coming soon on the next video. We'll see you then. Take care. Thanks for watching.